So I'm going to show you how to get into orbit quite simply. So we're going to start with this, a Command Pod Mark 1, and it's nice and light and small. So we're going to grab it with the left mouse bar and we're going to drag it up using the mouse wheel, and this we can go up and down with it in the hanger here. So we're going to get utilities, we're going to put a teeny little parachute on it. Going to go propulsion, we're going to put on a little fuel tank and a little engine. I've got a structural. I'm going to grab a disconnector. There's a couple of different versions for each size, so we could have either one of these. Doesn't really matter which one. So now we're going to put a bigger fuel tank on and a bigger engine. So we've got a structural. We'll put on one of these adapter pieces. Now we forgot something, so if we wanted to add something else on, say we want to put on an advanced SAS module, you know, we want to put it in here. How the heck do you? Well, you grab a piece you've already put on, pull it off, put the bit on you want, put your piece back on, and we're going to add the SAS to this rocket, but we're not actually going to add it to this bit at the end because it's not going to need it. So propulsion, we're now putting a big tank on, big engine. We're going to go here, get some stability enhancers. Is it enhancer? It is. So we're going to press X and X again and X again. We'll put 4 of these on. So this means we'll put 4 on every time. Now with this still on 4, we're going to go structural, go to the second page. We get strut connectors. I'm going to put them down here. I'm going to connect them to the fuel tank. And this basically will stop our rocket from wobbling and potentially breaking up. Because this is very long, this might start to wobble back and forth and actually break the ship. So we've built our rocket. We've got it pretty much ready to launch. Apart from we need to do this. This is our staging. We need to make sure this is all right. So stage 2 is our first stage that we'll be going off with. But I can see we've forgotten something. So we're going to grab this, disconnect it. So we're going to need a stack decoupler in here. Put it back on. Make sure everything looks good. It does. So yeah, we want down here to have the first stage be the first thing we want to get rid of. So we want to break these off. So this will disconnect these and let our rocket go. This will let the engine come on. So that will all come in one stage. Then up here is the next one. You can see when I hover over it, we can actually see this glow. So that's our start connector. We've got an engine. So we want our engine down with that start connector so they both go in at the same time. If we move up, we can see this is our next start connector and our next engine. We'll want them together. Because we don't want the engine and the parachute coming on at the same time. That would be pointless. So we're going to save and we're going to launch. So if we get rid of this, we can see our rocket. Now this big engine actually has a gimbal here, which means the nozzle can actually move. So it can actually steer the ship while it's being powered, which means we don't need any fins, we don't need any stabilizers, nothing to help us go straight. So we're going to press T, and this puts the SAS on. Now we'll throttle up to 2/3 with the shift key, and then what we want to do is hit the spacebar. And there we go, we launch. So this is our navigation ball here. So we can see just in there's a green circle. Now it has 2 little wings, but we can't see behind this marker, which this marker shows where we're pointing our ship. We've got a small orange line coming out down here, and then this is a line we're going to want to follow here. And this is the equator of Kerbal. So if we follow this, we'll stay on the equator nicely. So if we hit T and we tap D a few times, we can see we can actually steer our ship, and we're going to bring out just a little bit along this line. Now, while the ship is still going up, so we're about 4,000 meters up, we want to press M. And when we can use this, we can look around and we can use the mouse wheel to zoom in. Now this is our line of our trajectory, so that's where we're coming from, going up, and it's changing as our engines are still going. So this is the little icon for our little vessel, and this AP is the highest we're going to get. So if we were to just cut the engines, that's the highest we would get. But we don't want to cut the engines. We want to keep going. So we're pulling them back up to 2/3. So this is going up really nice. It's going up really fast. So we're going to give it more angle. So we're going to take it all the way along, which might look a bit nuts. We're going to put it onto there. So this is this circle. See this little outline is coming out, and I think that's a 45-degree angle. And you can see it looks very much like it's 45 degrees. So we're going out, and I want to get this AP to about 100,000. So I got my finger on the X key, so that whenever I get there I can hit it, and we can stop this thing dead. Oh, so that's that. That's our main engine's done. So we're going to hit X to cut that. So we throttle down now. I'm going to hit spacebar. That disconnects us. If we throttle up a little bit, you can see our engine's on. So I'm going to give it a touch more angle again. And I'm going to press the T key to put the SAS on. Throttle up. Again, zoom out and watch. I want this to get to 100,000. Doesn't have to be, but I like 100,000. So we're going to get there and there. So we're going to hit X, we cut the engine. Now we're going to grab onto this. We're going to add a maneuver. We're going to pull this out. And you see it's exactly the same as what our nav ball right here. So we pull that out, means we're accelerating. This is basically just showing us what would happen if we accelerated. So look at that, we've got this exactly the same as what we got on this side of the planet, which is 100,000, is now on the other side of the planet 50,000. So we pull this out. Let's see if we can get them quite close. That's quite close. Very nice. So yeah, that would be a pretty nice orbit. So what we do is you switch the SAS off, and we now point to this new little marker on the nav ball, which shows where we want to point when we do our burn. So our maneuver is coming up, and that's where we want to be pointing. So we are now 1 minute 12 away with a potential burn time of 44 seconds. It might not be that, so I don't think it's calculated right for our engine yet. So we're going to get ourselves closer. We'll get within 1 minute, and then we'll go with 2/3 and see if this changes. So we're talking about 40 seconds, and we're about 40 seconds away from the marker, so that'll be perfect. So we're just going to throttle away. We can see our line here getting bigger and bigger. We can see that our SAS is keeping us pointing right at our target. If at all we need to adjust it, we can press the SAS key and we can just manually adjust ourselves closer to our target if we want to, but it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. And then SAS to put it back on again, now it'll hold it in place. So we can zoom out and have a look. We can see that we're slowly but surely getting out there. If we don't bring this up, we can see our resources. If we go staging only, I'll show you exactly how much fuel left we've got in this engine. So we're throttling up. So we're not throttling up, we're getting there though. Look at this, the line's coming out. And stop. So we check our markers. So we're quite a bit different from what we originally wanted, but we can see that we're almost 100,000 on each side, almost exactly the same. So we are in orbit. That's it, we're in a beautiful, nice orbit.